No, that wasn't a bad effort to come back with, really, to the Portuguese supporters. You're listening to World Cup Game Day live on TalkSport, brought to you by Enterprise Rent a Car. Here for it, book now at enterprise.co.uk. Quick word on Uzbekistan, because I feel like we've almost ignored them so far, Tony, and we hadn't ought to do that. I mean, that opening game, they really did give it a go against Colombia. They struggled a bit in the first half, but second half they came out all guns firing, and you know, they got a goal but couldn't quite convert it into their first points.
Yeah, and first and foremost, they got one of my favourite players ever, Cannavaro, the centre half, not the biggest but an aggressive player. Look, I'm like you, I saw highlights of the game, and you know that you can tell. I mean, one thing you say about Uzbekistan, they are the masters of combat sport, aren't they? You know that, and they never stop battling and fighting away. They will give, I'm sure, Kuzanov is a player. I'll be interested if Ronaldo even goes near him, because he's lightning quick, he's great in the air, he's good technically, he's, for me, by far their best player, and rightly so. He's playing at Manchester City, but I'm sure there's others that can step in. I'm really looking forward to this game tonight.
Well, Shamodarov up top has had a cracking season. 22 goals he scored in Istanbul, playing his football back in Turkey after a fairly barren 5 years in Italy. He'll be who they're looking to provide the firepower in this game. It's match 4 of 7 in Houston, a capacity of 68,000 tucked in. Stadium that cost $352 million to build. Mexico had a victory here against the USA in the Gold Cup final in 2025. And for those of you who know your American football and your Super Bowls, you will know there have been 2 held in this stadium. Back in 2004, Janet Jackson maybe showed off a little more than she intended to, and in 2017, one of the greatest comebacks ever by Tom Brady and his New England Patriots to beat Atlanta in the final. In fact, the Patriots and Brady have won both of the Super Bowls played in this stadium. The last time this was used prior to the World Cup was back in March for the Houston Annual Livestock and Rodeo Show. 2.6 million people were in. Thankfully, they've dug up the turf and started again since then, Tony, so we should be okay.
Yeah. Great setting. I mean, just the view of the colours, you know, there's a lot of Portuguese fans in this stadium. So I expect, and I'm looking forward to so much quality in the Portuguese side, whether it's João Felix or whether it's Vitinho, João Neves, you know, just players. Fernandes, what can he do? Can Neto make something happen? Mendes at fullback. They're littered with quality, the Portuguese team.
We have got the 2 extremes in this game as well. There are 22 years and 183 days between Uzbekistan's Bekruz Karimov, who is 18 years and 320 days, and Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo, who at 41 years and 138 days is the second oldest player to play in the World Cup. But that is the biggest gap between 2 starting players in World Cup history.
So is it Roger Miller the oldest?
It is Roger Miller, and obviously he's the oldest scorer as well.
Yeah, Roger
and that
Miller
will stay because he was 42.
Yeah, 42. Yeah, what a striker he was, eh?
He certainly was, and Ronaldo will try and find the back of the net today for sure. That penalty against Ghana in the 2022 World Cup, the last goal he scored in a major tournament. He drew a blank at Euro 2024. He'll try and put that right today, and actually personally for him, he's going to be watching Messi scoring and all of those players, and his own pride and dare I say it, his own ego must be driving him on today.
Yeah, well, he's been that type of player. Look, I'd love him to do well today and play a big part of it. I'm just very sceptical of where Ronaldo is as a player at this time.
Countdown's on in Houston. They're used to it round here, of course. We are about to get underway, and it is Uzbekistan who are all in white, kicking from left to right in the opening 45 minutes. Portugal are in that traditional deep red colour from top to toe, and they're kicking from right to left, and immediately Portugal on the attack down the right hand side through João Cancelo, and it's had a play for a throw. Early challenge that time coming in from Shomatov, and it will be a throw on that far side, midway inside the Uzbekistan half for Portugal, and they will bring it out from the back, unsurprisingly. We know that's the way they like to play. Vitinho has it, gives it short to Ruben Diaz, excluded in that first game. He did struggle towards the end of the season with Manchester City, of course, through injuries, but a 4th World Cup appearance for Ruben Diaz in the heart of that defence, and he's been solid throughout. Of course, he played every second of qualifying until the 72nd minute of that final game when they had a 9-1 victory, very much secure. He was a linchpin in Roberto Martinez's side, and that's no great surprise. He's a quality defender.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, already seeing that they're looking to be a 5 more often than not, Uzbekistan. That's the way they play.
In the middle of the park is João Neves, gets it to the right-hand side to Cancelo, hugging that far touchline, looking to cut inside and work it onto his right-footed towards Vitinha. Vitinha then again down that right-hand touchline. Bruno Fernandes across the edge of the 6-yard area, and immediately defending had to be done by Ashumatov again, who gets it out of play for a throw on that far side. And immediately they're moving the ball very well. They only had one shot on target in that first game, Portugal, didn't they?
Yeah, and they lack the quality, and considering they've got so many good players.
Oh, Neto's done well there to beat it. Bruno Fernandes fires over from 12 yards out. It was on his right foot, he moved it onto his left foot, fired the shot which took a deflection. They'll have a corner down the left-hand side, and I think he's apologising to Cristiano Ronaldo for not setting him up on a plate.
Yeah, well, as it comes out to... I'm just watching Bruno Fernandes. It comes on his right foot. He then decides to just turn it onto his left, and he hits it, but it gets a deflection and goes for a corner for Portugal.
I think he was apologising to both João Felix there and Cristiano Ronaldo, who were in better positions, to be fair. Cancelo's going to take this corner short down this near side, out to Bruno Fernandes, just off the angle of the box, back to Cancelo, who plays it in low towards the edge of the 6-yard area. Uzbekistan with defending to do, and rather than just clearing the ball there, he just did delay and dally a little bit that time, did Shukurov, and it's out of play for a throw on this near side for Portugal, and it's going to be left for Nuno Mendes, who will come up to launch this in from level with the penalty spot.
Yeah, Shukurov there, he had no choice really, just had kicked out of play. But you can see all 11 men, 10 outfield players are all literally camped to try and make it as hard as they can for Portugal. It's going to be a 75% possession rate here for Portugal tonight.
Vitinha into the feet of Diaz, who's 10 yards outside his own penalty area. To the left-hand side is Nuno Mendes, who feeds it up the left-hand touchline for João Felix. Slipped onto Mendes, who's on the charge. We've seen this so many times for PSG. He crosses in towards Cristiano Ronaldo, edge of the 6-yard area, right-hand side. Not quick enough, and he just signals to his teammate to say, I was about an inch away. He was, but I'm pretty sure Ronaldo of the past may well have put that in.
Yeah, and a wonderful run and pass by Mendes, the great left-back from PSG. He whips it in. Ronaldo just can't get on the end of the cross. Whipped in, but at least he made the run. Now he's done more in literally a couple of minutes than he had opportunities against DR Congo.
Right start here from Portugal. 4 minutes played on TalkSport 2. Portugal 0, Uzbekistan 0. Mendes on this near side. Forward they come down this left-hand touchline. João Felix is there. Just a little bit of a niggle from Karimov, the youngster, just to let him know that he was there. On halfway inside the centre circle is Ruben Diaz, forward towards Ronaldo, who just turns it round the corner. Felix is there, gets it to Bruno Fernandes, edge of the penalty area, left hand side, right through the ball into the box, is easily headed away that time by Ashumatov, and that's into touch on this near side for again what's going to be a throw to Uzbekistan in front of Roberto Martinez down this right hand side. 5 minutes gone on TalkSport 2, 0-0.
Yeah, again, just watching Bruno Fernandes make a great challenge as it came in. Ganyalev just watching a replay of the chance for Fernandes. Gets a little bit unlucky, deflected. A little bit fortunate there, Uzbekistan.
Yeah, it was a good block in the end. It was heading goalwards for sure. And they want a free kick, and in fact it is a free kick that goes against Uzbekistan. And the man that is their league record goal scorer, 44 goals, it's his 95th cap today, Shomurodov, who's up top. 95 caps in total, as I say. It's a pretty decent record. Scored 5 goals in that qualifying campaign. And very much the talisman. Down that right-hand side, here come Portugal again. Good bit of running on that far touchline by Pedro Neto, the Chelsea man. Holds the ball up nicely, level with the penalty spot. Gives it back to Cancelo down that right-hand side. João Cancelo on the charge. Feeds it into Ronaldo! He's arrived! Cristiano Ronaldo is off the mark at World Cup 2026. And he's engulfed by his teammates. He's disappeared in a bundle. Cancelo's cross, Ronaldo's finish, and that major tournament goal drought comes to an end. Perfect start for Portugal, perfect start for Cristiano Ronaldo. He's off and running at this World Cup. Portugal 1, Uzbekistan 0.
Well, have you ever seen a goal with so much venom and relief and anger in his right foot there as it got played across the face of the goal? Ronaldo just turned and spun on it and hit it first time. That's surely what he needed. Can he join the party of all these goal scorers that are getting goals? Well, this was a great goal. As he gets whipped in, Ronaldo, I'm not sure where the defence is. No one's even picked him up. Kramerbeck just literally watched him get across him. But a great finish. Take nothing away from the goal. Really great finish.
It's the movement as well, Tony, isn't it? Actually, because he just as that ball is about to be delivered, he makes a really good vertical run across the 6-yard box.
Yeah, he does. He's done brilliant for the goal. Now, I said, and whatever happened against the DR Congo, what I saw and what everybody else saw was a player that clearly couldn't have any impact in the game. And in 3 minutes, he's done, or 7 minutes now, he's done way more. And look, fair play to him. I always said, I'm prepared to eat humble pie, but he's got to do more for the team. And so far, great goal.
Second oldest scorer in World Cup history and the first player to score in 6 World Cup finals. His 9th goal in total across those World Cups. It's not as prolific as the likes of Messi and of course Mbappe as well, but Cristiano Ronaldo has made his mark. 8 minutes in, Portugal leading Uzbekistan. Here's a corner though down this right hand side for Uzbekistan. In fact, it's a throw right by the corner flag on this near touchline, the right hand side. In fact, no, it's gone out for a goal kick. Well, we got there in the end. 8.5 minutes played, and you just wonder what that'll do for Ronaldo now in terms of confidence.
Oh, absolutely. The weight lifted from his shoulders because he was clearly, and rightly so, frustrated. And there were others in the Portuguese team, by the way, who didn't play well. But he sets his standards. What we saw tonight is what Ronaldo's done for the best part of 2 decades. It's been an unbelievable player with great finishing, headed goals.
This appearance today moves him level with Miroslav Klose in terms of appearances at a World Cup. He's only got Lothar Matthäus and Lionel Messi ahead of him. Throwing down this left-hand side for Portugal as they go searching for a second. Kasanov was the player that blocked that one out. They've taken the throw short here to João Felix, who's fouled right by the byline by Karimov, and it's going to be a free kick for Portugal midway between the edge of the penalty area and the corner flag, a couple of yards infield.
I'm not sure what Karimov was doing there. No need to make the tackle, challenge on Felix. It's going nowhere.
Impetuous youth of the 18-year-old. The free kick being lined up with just a one-man wall and, well, a clutch of Uzbekistan defenders in and around the penalty area. There was a time when any free kick would have been Cristiano Ronaldo's. This one, though, is Bruno Fernandes's. It literally is half a yard from the touchline, midway between the penalty area and the touchline on this near side. I wonder if he's going to try and whip this. Ronaldo is lurking at the back post. There are 6 red shirts interspersed in and around that 6-yard box. It's a very tight angle for Bruno Fernandes. He does lift it towards the back post. It's punched away by Nematov and then driven in by Cancelo from the edge of the penalty area. Blocked away. Cancelo will get another opportunity to pick up possession. Just steps inside the defender and gives it to Nuno Mendes, and play will be split then down this left-hand side towards Bruno Fernandes again. His first touch is a decent one, but he actually is closed down by Karimov and wins his side the throw.
Yeah, it's a really tricky start for Uzbekistan. They've been on the back foot for the opening 10 minutes, and it feels like that's going to be the theme of the game.
The major tournament drought lasted 13 hours and 28 minutes for Cristiano Ronaldo. First in 11 in major tournaments. But he's got that little chip off his shoulder now, and who knows what might follow. You do get the impression it's going to be a tough afternoon for Uzbekistan. You're listening to TalkSport 2. Portugal 1, Uzbekistan 0. Ronaldo, the goal scorer, first player ever to score in 6 World Cups. So worth remembering, of course. Roger Miller, as we said before kickoff, is the man older than him who scored in a World Cup. Down the right hand side, here they come again. Cancelo out wide to the far touchline, infield to Fernandes. Fernandes just drops it back into Vitinha, and there's space here for Diaz to clip a ball forward down that right hand side, but there's between 2 Portugal players. It's difficult for Fernandes to control, gives a chance for Uzbekistan to try and break away. Fazuliev tried it, but again they've been stopped and they just can't get out their own half of them.
No, they're really stuck in a bit of a mire here. Uzbekistan, they're literally they're playing, chasing every Portuguese move, pass, and when they get the ball they're losing it immediately.
Goal for Ronaldo as well, moves him level with Eusebio. Of course, Eusebio scored all of his goals in one World Cup in 1966. It's taken a little longer for Cristiano Ronaldo to get. Portugal have it, right hand side on the far touchline. Almost 13 minutes played. Portugal 1, Uzbekistan 0. Here's Ruben Diaz. Portugal's tournament feels like it may be about to get started, given the troubles they had in that opening tie against DR Congo. Although they scored early there, of course, it ended up being their only shot on target. Down that right hand side, João Cancelo is lost out. Good possession picked up here for Uzbekistan. The Shomatov's ball forward is met by Diogo Costa at the edge of the penalty area and volleyed clear. They'll still try and push on down that left hand side again. Fazuliev couldn't quite get there, and Portugal have possession once more.
Yeah, that was a golden opportunity. The ball gets played down the line.
Bruno Fernandes plays in early this time. Ronaldo was nowhere to be found, but João Felix was there, and there's a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area in the D. The challenge on Pedro Neto. Yellow card as well has been shown to Shomatov. Clumsy challenge. Clumsy all round from Uzbekistan, giving the ball away at the edge of the penalty area. Real chance here. But I think there's an argument from one of the Portugal players saying, well, it wasn't stopping a goal-scoring opportunity on Pedro Neto.
No, it's a foul.
Yeah, it is.
And it's outside the box, and Shomatov just gets in a bad position and ends up pulling Neves down, and it's a golden opportunity. This is literally right on the line, isn't it, of the 18-yard box?
It is. I guess the question will be, can it go up or down? In fact, it wasn't a Shomatov. It looks like the yellow card's been shown to Kamrokbiev, who it looks like he was the player involved. Kamrokbiev, I don't know. It looked like it was the number 5 to me. But
yeah, it's same. That's how I thought it was.
Well, they're having a long discussion. I think Cristiano Ronaldo quite fancies this. We said before, those free kicks used to be his trademark, usually from a bit further out so he could knuckleball them. But
yeah, it's one that's because it's right on the edge of the 18-yard box. It's probably a little bit too close, and there's going to be a wall in front of him. He hasn't got any chance of really getting up and down. He can't do that with this free kick. It's just way too close.
Maybe he'll head for power.
It's like you said, a knuckleball effort.
Here he is, big puff of the cheeks from Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, certainly Nuno Mendes is there as well. João Neves is trying to orchestrate. Uzbekistan have gone for the draft excluder as well as the 5 in the wall, so they desperately try and defend this free kick. In the D, half a yard outside the penalty area, there are actually 3 Portuguese players in and around the ball. João Neves has now decided to leave. Ronaldo's certainly geeing himself up. Whether this is all kidology and it's going to be Nuno Mendes or not, we will see. But in the meantime, our referee is just having a fairly lengthy conversation with Ruben Diaz and co about where they can stand as they make up a secondary wall about a metre further forward, and Ronaldo, hands on hips, looking up at the sky as if to say, well, Mendes just keeps remarking his little run up for this free kick, and it might suit his left foot better, you know.
Well, it's certainly the angle it's at. It does look more suited to a left footer, but I can't see anyone but Ronaldo hitting this.
We've seen this stance so many times from Cristiano Ronaldo. Here's the free kick. Mendes! What a hit that is from the edge of the penalty area from Nuno Mendes, drilled into the bottom corner. Only his second international goal, and it's a beaut of a hit right into the bottom corner. Mendes on target. Portugal doubled our advantage, and for once it wasn't Cristiano Ronaldo centre stage, it was Nuno Mendes. Portugal 2, Uzbekistan 0.
I think I've got to give up commentary. I've just called. I think Ronaldo's going to take it. I did say that Mendes was more suited in the angle of the ball, and he's just buried it. I'm not sure about the wall, and he's gone flying past the keeper, Nematov, and quite a simple goal in the end. But Mendes, I'm sure that the goalkeeper doesn't look even in the right position, and it's ended up making it 2-0 and an easy free kick. It didn't look. It wasn't in the bottom corner, was it?
Well, it looks like it's gone through the dummy wall that Portugal had set up, so that served its purpose, but that may well... It looks like the keeper was behind his own wall, if we're going to be honest. I don't think it's the best we've seen.
Yeah, he might as well have laid down behind it.
It is only his 16th appearance, Nematov. Got the nod today for the goalkeeping berth, and he's conceded 2 inside the first 18 minutes.
Wow.
Oh, they've given it away here, Portugal, at the edge of the penalty area, but it's one back here. Uzbekistan have it, left-hand side of the box, and Costa has to make a save for the first time. Nazruliev firing that from the left edge of the penalty area. Comfortable for Diogo Costa.
Yeah, Nazruliev there. Good strike of his left foot. It's the first really serious attack they've had.
And it came from Portugal giving the ball away, no surprise. Charging down that right-hand side is Pedro Neto, but that ball's going to run out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Uzbekistan midway inside their own half. Neto, who probably had his best season for Chelsea last season, didn't he, in terms of opportunities and goals and assists?
Didn't play his best towards the end, but you're right. Early on, I thought there was signs of how he would forge a place in the Chelsea team. By the way, this game, I can only see it running away, with Portugal getting more goals, because Uzbekistan look like they're at 6s and 7s.
On that far side, it's going to be a throw to Portugal on halfway. You're listening to Talk Sport 2, 19 minutes play. Portugal 2, Uzbekistan 0, and plenty for Fabio Cannavaro to think about. Took over in October, replaced Timur Kapadze, who was the former player. He actually got that qualification. Well, Kapadze is now his assistant. They wanted the experience of Cannavaro, obviously a World Cup winner, lifting it in 2006 with Italy. Well, Mendes again down this left-hand side does brilliantly, and there's a foul, and it's Karimov again, almost clotheslining Mendes, so it'll be a free kick for Portugal, just off the angle of the box on this left-hand side.
Yeah, again losing the ball in a bad area there, Karimov. And I don't know what he's thinking, but he's getting away with a few challenges.
I think there was a bit of both. There was arm across the chest and a leg as well. And Mendes, full of confidence, is sat over the top of this free kick. Ronaldo's gone into the box under instruction from Bruno Fernandes, the Portuguese midfielder. Remember, Ronaldo's got the armband, but it's like Bruno Fernandes is calling the shots out there tonight for sure.
Well, that may be a decent thing as well, in that Ronaldo, I think, just needs to concentrate in getting in positions and doing what he does best, is finishing.
Fernandes is going to deliver this down the left-hand side. Mendes inside the box, pulls it across the box. Oh, it's a couple of ricochets and cleared away from the edge of the penalty on this near side by Uzbekistan. Back in, though. as it's controlled down this near touchline by João Felix, and it's a throw by the corner flag out to Fernandez. João Felix again on this near side, or slips it to Mendes. Lovely reverse pass, left for the ball, stood over towards Ronaldo, headed away from reaching his path. Vitinha then mishits a volley from the edge of the penalty area that just bounces down, and a chance once more for Portugal to build down that right hand side. João Cancelo just teasing on Neto now. Neto down the right, on the run. Neto gets the crossover towards the back post. Nobody's waiting. They'd all moved near post, and a chance here for Karimov to get it away. Oh, he's just delayed, and Fernandez has taken it off his toes, and João Felix is there, and now it's Fernandez again to Ronaldo at the edge of the box, and Fernandez is caught. That's going to be a free kick, and again another chance on this near side for Portugal to put the ball in, and this time round it's Abdullayev who's arguing with the referee about whether he actually fouled Fernandez or not.
Abdullayev certainly fouled. You know, they're committing too many fouls in terrible areas of the pitch. Again, golden opportunity for Bruno Fernandes out wide on the left, probably about 6-7 yards from the 18-yard box, but a great angle to whip one in with his right foot. If anyone gets a glancing header on it, they could easily creep in the back of the net.
So that's where they're going to be aiming here. Fernandes, 22 minutes played, Portugal 2, Uzbekistan 0 here on TalkSport 2. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Oh, he's just evaded everyone apart from Karimov, who gets a touch on it. Now a chance to counter away and break for Uzbekistan. They've won the free kick just at the edge of the centre circle. Bit of fury as well coming from Shomurodov. And in the meantime, the hydration break comes around, and it's been a fairly pulsating opening 22 minutes. Little time to breathe in this game, Tony Cascarino.
Yeah, look, I'm watching Fabio Cannavaro having his arms open, and he's obviously very frustrated. It just, you know, his team are not a reflection of him as a manager and what he was as a player. There's no nonsense, get stuck in and do things with enthusiasm. So far we've seen them commit way too many fouls with Uzbekistan. And Portugal, it's going to be how many this game tonight? It's going to be 4 or 5 if it continues in this vein, because Portugal are just tearing them apart, aren't they, at the moment?
It's a rainy day in Boston, a rainy day for England. They take on Ghana tonight. 9 o'clock is the kick-off time. All the build-up from 7 over on TalkSport. Adrian's there, of course, Jim Proudfoot, Stuart Pearce, Faker, others will be pitchside and gathering all the post-match. Then from 11:30 tonight you can react to England's performance against Ghana on the Game Day Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Pundy. In the meantime, here on TalkSport 2 from midnight, it's Panama against Croatia, the other game in England's group. And from 2 a.m. on TalkSport, Colombia against DR Congo. Of course, that's the other game in this group here, which contains Portugal and Uzbekistan. Tomorrow, more live games for you as we enter the final round of matches. It's match day 3, kicking off with Switzerland against Canada on TalkSport. Bosnia against Qatar is over on TalkSport 2, and then that's followed up by Scotland against Brazil on TalkSport and Morocco against Haiti on TalkSport 2. And don't forget, tomorrow morning from 6 o'clock, Goldstein and Agbonlahor with your World Cup breakfast. They will be looking back on England's performance and looking ahead to what Scotland might have to offer and what Scotland might need to do to get through and into the round of 32 at this World Cup. Well, we're almost done with our hydration break. What have you made, Tony? Who's been talking to who? What's been the moment of the hydration break?
Well, it's literally coaches, and there's a lot of them, by the way. I don't know how many coaches there are on each team, especially Portugal. They've got, it seems like they've got about 20 coaches talking to every individual player. Everyone's got their own coach.
They all seem to be dealing with it differently. Some seem to be doing a collective, others seem to pick off individuals. I'm guessing for Portugal, there's not too much to be worrying about at this moment in time, is there?
No, they're so comfortable. Martinez will be delighted with the first 5 minutes of the game, because Portugal, of course, Uzbekistan, so many problems, their movement, their passing, and it only looks like it's going to get more. I can't imagine anything else in this game at the moment, because I've not seen any positivity. Just seeing an image of Pepe come up on our screens.
He looks leaner and fitter than he did when he finished playing now, to be fair. What a player he was, Pepe. Another one
41
in his advancing years,
Yeah, when he played.
Here come Uzbekistan down the right-hand side. There's a foul. Mendes has been penalised. It will be a free kick as they just try and find a way into this game. Karimov on this near side will take this free kick. Debut against the Gabon in a friendly. He scored his first ever goal in football, Karimov, in October 2025. Broke his toe in April as well. Wasn't sure he'd be fit. It's cap number 4 for him, the youngster. One of those they feel is the future of football in Uzbekistan. Obviously, it is a first World Cup for them after 7 failed qualifying campaigns. The one you have to feel harsh about, they lost on away goals in 2006 against Bahrain because the ref made a mistake in the first game that they won. They had to play a replay fixture and missed out on qualifying then. But it's been a lot of money pumped by the government in Uzbekistan into football, and they're just starting to reap the rewards. They do take it very seriously.
Well, it's a fantastic achievement to get to a World Cup final. So obviously they're doing something right. Unfortunately, they're looking like a side that's not going to get too much out of this World Cup, as in results.
Well, funny enough, it's one of those where they lost only one of their qualifiers, and actually, even if it wasn't the expanded 48 teams, they'd have still qualified as a 32, which is a testament to the improvement that they've seen. But against a side like Portugal, who are performing, it was always going to be a big ask. Out wide to this right-hand side, Uzbekistan coming forward, and it is Karimov again. Seems to be the main threat at this moment in time. Down this right-hand touchline, he's cutting infield. Nicely done. To the left-hand side they go once more, and Shukurov out wide on that far touchline. It's Nazruliev's ball in, and just trying to get up for the header inside the penalty area was Shomodorov. Couldn't get there. They keep possession on halfway though. This is better. The drinks break has allowed Uzbekistan to sort themselves out a little bit, and they've won another free kick just inside the centre circle for the foul by Vitinha on this occasion.
Yeah, Vitinha makes a pretty innocent challenge, but it is a free kick. It just catches Kamravek.
Vitinha protesting his innocence, but the referee not in the slightest bit interested. Here's the free kick, taken short by Kusanov to the left-hand side. Oh, it's a poor touch, just almost allowed Bruno Fernandes in. They have managed to win it back, but then Portugal will steal possession midway inside their own half, and it's the quick feet of Vitinha this time. They will win the ball and just tries to bring João Cancelo into the equation. He's playing with it at the edge of his box, has lost possession. Oh, what a goal! What a strike from Ganiev from the edge of the penalty area. Uzbekistan are back in this game, and it's an absolute beauty. And it's all come from Portugal playing around at the edge of their own penalty area, and Ganiev takes full advantage. What a strike for your first goal for your country into the top corner, and it stuns the Portuguese. It's Portugal 2, Uzbekistan 1.
Well, the drinks breaks works again. Come out of the drinks break and you get going, and what a strike by Ganiev. There is Cancelo. He gets tackled. I think it's a fair challenge. I don't think it's a foul at all. We'll wait and see what happens, whether it's going to be viewed. But what a strike by Ganiev. It's literally right foot, ping, top corner. There's nothing that Costa can do in the Portuguese goal. What a strike.
Fazuliev is the player that they're questioning in terms of the foul or the VAR review. So the referee has been called over to have a look, and they're showing, well, it does look maybe quite damning here for João Cancelo.
Oh, that's going to be
and
given.
He was fouled, yeah. He's been called over.
Oh, what a goal. What a strike to hit, and it's going to be disallowed. I mean, there's the rules. Oh, it's such a great strike.
Well, Cancelo tried to make the most of it as well. Here comes the decision from the referee. He's just telling Ganiev to leave him and make his decision. Here he goes. Go.
After review, the attacker number 22 didn't play the ball and committed a foul. Final decision.
It is a foul. Fazuliev on Cancelo, and the goal for Uzbekistan is ruled out, which is a shame, because what a strike.
Well, Ganiev will never hit a ball like that in his rest of his life, because he's just literally hit it right foot. He's pinged it top corner. What a great goal to speak this.
It was, and it's a warning to Portugal. And I would like that to have stood purely to teach them a lesson. They were playing silly. They were playing silly football out from right at the edge of their own penalty area.
Trying to be a little bit clever, maybe a bit of complacency there. But I don't think you're going to see a better goal disallowed.
That'll be a real warning. Absolute stunning strike for Ganiev. Didn't get a cap for 22 months, and then back in favour with Fabio Cannavaro, who said, actually, you'll do for me. And well, maybe that's why he saw some of that going on.
Yeah. You know, to be fair, I did think after the review that it's going to be chalked off. Once you see that still, and okay, you could even take it a few images afterwards, I thought it was a foul.
VAR intervening to deny Uzbekistan their second World Cup goal. Trying to play a ball forward down that left-hand side this time was Nazruliev, but intercepted, out of play, throwing on the far side for Uzbekistan. The referee has given it the other way, actually, saying there's handball. And it will be a free kick for Portugal, much to the annoyance here of Fazuliev. Well, I don't know, he's waving his hand, he's pointing his hand. Oh no, he's giving it as a free kick the other way. Well, he was pointing towards the Uzbekistan goal, but now he's pointing towards the Portugal goal, and it's a handball.
There's a little bit of confusion. Since the drinks break finished about 6 or 7 minutes ago, it's been really all Uzbekistan.
Portugal haven't been out the half, have they? We've seen it time and time again in this World Cup. Here is Ganiev to deliver from that far side, the score of the non-goal for Uzbekistan. That's towards the back post, not quite kept in. There was too much on it, and in the end he's ended up over the hoardings as Kamrabekov. And it's out of play for what will be a goal kick away to our right hand side. 12 minutes to go in the first half, then you're listening to TalkSport 2, where it remains Portugal 2, Uzbekistan 0.
Kamrabekov there, he's the number 9 shirt, but he didn't head it like a number 9, the ball. Just a bit too deep, that cross.
But still Uzbekistan are keeping the ball inside their own half this time. Challenge from Joao Felix, and the free kick is given to Uzbekistan into Abdullayev.
Foul.
Really has been a change in momentum since that break, isn't it?
Absolutely, Adam, And the other thing, I'm looking at Joao Felix and all the big moves he's had in his career, the clubs he's played for. Wow. Never settled, has he?
Well, he seems to have found his home now in Al Nazir. 24 goals he got last season in his 43 appearances. Yes, it's the Saudi Pro League, as everyone would probably respond and tell you, but he was the player of the year in the Saudi League, or voted player of the year. But when you think he's been Chelsea, Barcelona, AC Milan as well, hasn't he? Here's a chance maybe, but just bounces up nicely into the arms of Diogo Costa, who was just under a little bit of pressure inside the penalty area away to our right hand side. They'll come from the back again, will Portugal. 10.5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in this first half. They lead Uzbekistan by 2 goals to 0. If you have just joined us, just finishing work maybe, 6:34 UK time, it's 12:34 in Houston. Cristiano Ronaldo is off and running at this World Cup. He's got a bit of catching up to do behind his old mate Lionel Messi, and behind Mbappe and Haaland as well, and hopefully after tonight Harry Kane too.
Yeah, big night for Harry in England.
It's all live on TalkSport from 7 o'clock, the build-up between England and Ghana, of course. That's a foul, surely. A free kick for Portugal midway inside the Uzbekistan half. Shukurov with the challenge.
Is there a better left back in the World Cup than Mendes?
I don't think there is.
No.
I'm not sure there's one in world football. Neto's away down the right hand side. Tries to get that cross in, but it's cleared away up towards halfway. Header being won there by Vaega. Oh, he didn't win it at all. And now Uzbekistan are on the counter. Shomurodov puts it into the path this time of Ganiev, but Mendes, as we just talk about him, is back doing the other side of the game that he does incredibly well. the backtracking and the defending.
Yeah, great defending there by Mendes. And now Portugal are off.
That's brilliant from Fernandes down the left-hand side. João Felix. Ronaldo's making a run into the box outside of the right boot from João Felix, and it's cleared away. Just tried to put it in the path of Ronaldo, but enough on it. And out of play by Shourmatov on this near side, and it will be a throw-in for Portugal midway inside the Uzbekistan half.
Yeah, the first attempt really of an attack since the water break by Portugal.
Population of 38 million in Uzbekistan. It's not like the story of Curaçao and Cape Verde where you're looking at very limited numbers. Large number of those 38 million are all young as well, about a third of them I think. Hence why they've tried to pump the money in to get them into their football. Now, Uzbekistan just given the ball to Portugal here for the moment where Ronaldo went down on the floor claiming a foul. The referee didn't give it.
No, he waved play on.
And Mendes gives the ball back to Uzbekistan down this left-hand side, and it will be an opportunity for them to build once more. They've gone pretty well since the hydration break. First real time that Portugal have got inside the Uzbekistan penalty area in the second quarter of this game. I find myself talking like an American now already. Look. Into touch on this near side for a throw on halfway for Uzbekistan. It's going to be taken by Kalimov. In fact, no, he's going to leave it for the advancing Abdullayev, who I thought may go long, but he goes short. Helped on its way by Kalimov towards Ganiev. Cleared away for Portugal by Veiga. And into touch again on this near side for another throw to Uzbekistan, who has certainly given Portugal more of a game than they did in the opening 22 minutes.
Yeah. They've sort of, from the water break, they've just had a bit more aggression in their play. They've been a bit more committed to try and cause problems, and it's worked.
Here they come again, through the middle this time with Shukurov. Shukurov into the feet that time of Fazuliev, and now they've won possession back here, Portugal on halfway. Bruno Fernandes is on the charge, Ronaldo's ahead of him, Ronaldo inside the box to finish it, he does! It's Ronaldo at the double, and there's the celebration. His World Cup well and truly off and running, as he becomes Portugal's leading goal scorer in World Cup competitions. He's into double figures, he passes Eusebio, and he scores Portugal's third. And anyone who doubted him, hang your head in shame. Ronaldo is back at it again. Portugal 3, Uzbekistan 0.
Are you talking to me, Adam? I did doubt him, and I've still got to raise big question marks over what I'm seeing tonight is way different. I've got to say that Uzbekistan's defending hasn't been particularly great. I mean, I'm just watching, I think it's Kuzanov who he's been caught the other side of, and it's a great finish, literally. He puts it in the bottom right-hand corner. The goalkeeper comes out sliding, he commits himself. Ronaldo slips it just on the inside of the far post. Great finish. Again, Portugal so comfortable in this game.
It's a really good finish. You can appreciate a great finish.
It's a great finish. And because of his run he was on coming into this World Cup and his performances, I watched him in Dublin, and when they lost 2-0 and he got sent off and he had no impact in the game at all, and I felt that was a bit of a common theme. And of course what happened against DR Congo, now all he can do is do what he's done. I always say, if you're ever going to prove people that they're wrong, it's when they cross the right line, you deliver, and he's delivered tonight.
And he's also the sort of character that when you are watching Messi score and when you're watching Haaland doing, he don't want to be forgotten, doesn't he? He doesn't want to be the old man who's done and dusted. He wants to prove his point.
Well, I don't think he's done so much in his career he'll ever be, say, a forgotten man. I think there's been a lot of frustration from him in this tournament, especially the early days and watching others. But can this be he's going to have far tougher games, because Uzbekistan have been defensively very, very poor, haven't they, tonight, Adam? That's without doubt.
no doubt about it. And actually, history recently has said, 4 of his 27 goals, last 27 goals internationally, have been against teams in the top 30. That's where he needs to prove this, doesn't he? That's where he needs to show he's still got it.
Trying to win the World Cup, will they be able to achieve that goal with Ronaldo in up against much sterner defences than what we've seen tonight? Or we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Well, that will be the challenge for sure. But I think, listen, we were all asking the questions, and I think many of us felt that he shouldn't be starting. There's a chance to volley it in. Oh, what an opportunity for João Felix. It was a ball over the top. Him and Ronaldo were chasing after it, and it was Felix down the left-hand side of the box, and it just sat up beautifully, but he fired it well, high and wide.
Yeah, Felix here, I think he's got to try and hit it as it bounces up. He's got to keep it low, and he opts to try and just lob it over the keeper into the other side of the goal.
I think we all came into this tournament feeling like Ronaldo shouldn't be starting, probably. I think that's how everyone felt, for sure.
And there's massive challenges for him and this Portuguese team ahead of them. This was, I felt, a really comfortable group for Portugal. Having DR Congo, Colombia.
João Felix on the charge, can't get there. Picked up by Vega on halfway. Forward it goes. Well, the only team to mess up on match day 1 and not secure a victory and then come flying out the traps. Spain being another fine example. Vitinha out wide to the right hand side. Here's Pedro Neto on a charge. He's certainly on that far side got the better of Nazruliev. I think there's no doubt about that, but this time the ball into the box is easily dealt with by Uzbekistan, and Vitinha will chase back towards Diogo Costa, who comes to the edge of his penalty area. 2.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Portugal 3, Uzbekistan 0. Only the second time he scored more than once in a World Cup match. Cristiano Ronaldo, I think we all remember that opening game hat-trick against Spain. You and I were talking about it before the game, wasn't it? That was a 3-3 cracker against Spain in Russia. Here come Uzbekistan at the edge of the penalty area here. Right-footed shot, not quite as accurate or spectacular as Ganiev from Shukurov, and it's over the top of the bar, and it will be a goal kick for Portugal. With 2 minutes remaining in the first half on TalkSport 2, it remains 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0, very comfortable Portugal. Now, what does Martinez do for the second half? Obviously, they've got the final game against Colombia. This game's done and dusted for Portugal. So, will he rest a few, take a couple off, and be prepared to try and top the group?
Well, it's a chance maybe for Gonçalo Ramos to get some time. He's obviously an understudy at PSG. He's an understudy for Portugal. And yet when he was chosen ahead of Ronaldo against Switzerland in the World Cup in 2022, he notched a hat-trick, of course. Kept his place as well when they lost in the quarter-final. Throw in on this near side, conceded by Mendes. So it's for Uzbekistan, level with the edge of the Portuguese penalty area. You feel Uzbekistan might have a goal in them here.
Yeah, they've just offered more, but been punished, because I couldn't have imagined they could have been so poor defensively. They've really gifted too many chances to Portugal.
Shukurov out wide to that left-hand side again. Nazruliev making the run down that side is Fazuliev. Can't find him though. It's won by João Cancelo, who's on a charge down that right-hand touchline. He gets over halfway, but just one white shirt too many for him to try and deal with, and pressure being applied here to Nematov, who was brought into goal today for Uzbekistan. He's conceded 3 in the opening 45 minutes. The first time Portugal have scored 3 in the first half of a World Cup game. Mendes lifts the ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area. It was over the top of Bruno Fernandes, who's a little frustrated that the pass was slightly astray. Uzbekistan playing out from the back, and the challenge from Felix is a poor one really, because it didn't do enough to stop Uzbekistan, but in the end the final ball forward to Shomurodov is overhit, and Portugal will have possession again. Went to 6 added minutes at the end of this first half. Well, account for the VAR intervention. I didn't think it was 3 minutes long, to be fair, but 6 to play. A reminder from 7 o'clock UK time. So in about 14 minutes time or so over on TalkSport, the build-up begins to England against Ghana. 9 o'clock kickoff in very rainy Boston. Ponchos will be at the ready tonight for the team. We did see a little glimpse of Stuart putting one on yesterday. It was almost like Arsene Wenger trying to do the zip up on his coat, but not quite as funny. On this near side, Mendes does well, wins the ball back for Portugal towards the edge of the penalty area. João Felix in towards Bruno Fernandes at the edge of the box, and then a good foot in that time from Kamrobekov. Wins the ball and wins the free kick for Uzbekistan.
Yeah, again, breaking up play really well from Portugal. There's still a side to me that I just look at the talent they've got at their disposal. Just a really good side. So many good players on the ball, technically, physically. You know, you look at their midfield, Vitinha, Neves, fullbacks. Just got a lot of good players.
They've got a lot of depth as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've got plenty of options. I do feel that they should have a World Cup in them at some point. Maybe that time has passed. Maybe Russia was that time. Here's a chance for Uzbekistan at the edge of the penalty area. Right-footed shot from Kamrobekov is blocked, and it will be a free kick for a foul. The referee just, for a moment, referee Jaya just turned to calm down and give me the ball.
Well, they've always been blessed with great players. I think our biggest runaround I ever had in international football was away at Portugal. We lost 3-0. We had a really good side. We couldn't get near them. That was the era of Figo and others. Really good.
He wasn't a bad player, was he? Figo.
Bigger than you think, you know, physically. Taller.
Yeah,
Bit like Zidane.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think people mistook him for the fact that he had that silky skill and whatever, and they thought he may be slightly smaller, but you're right,
Yeah.
physically he was quite big, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Cancelo down the right hand side attempts to play an early ball in. It's blocked out on that far touchline by Fazuliev, and it will be another throw for Portugal. So Martinez, arms always folded in the technical area, apart from when they score, then he tends to release a little bit of the anxiety that he seems to feel as a manager. He's on his way, of course, after this tournament. Won the Nations League with Portugal last year, beating Spain on penalties in that Nations League final. No doubt these two sides will be competing in the latter stages of this World Cup. All 104 games, of course, live across the TalkSport network. We are getting into the final round of group games tomorrow evening, starting with Switzerland against Canada on TalkSport, and Bosnia and Herzegovina against Qatar on TalkSport 2. The battle between Switzerland and Canada for who is going to finish top of the group. And for Canada, it's important because they'll stay in Canada for the next round of the competition. And also there's a 5-day gap between if they finish second and first, depending on when they play. Well, that's really poor. Really poor from Ashurmatov. He's just let the ball run out of place. Terrible.
Well, he's got to control it, Ashurmatov, and his touch has just kicked it out of play.
Touch like mine. That's terrible. Vitinha back to Renato Veg. To the left-hand side is Nuno Mendes. He was described as almost the perfect player, Nuno Mendes. He was scouted at the age of 10, that's how good he was. Down the right-hand side is Pedro Neto, looking to fizz a ball across the 6-yard area. He was trying to pick out the run inside the box of Cristiano Ronaldo, and then the clip inside the area from João Neves. There's too much on that, but it's going to run out on this near side and will be cleared. We've had, 4.5, nearly 5 minutes of the 6 added at the end of this first half on TalkSport 2, where it remains Portugal 3, Uzbekistan 0. 2 goals from Cristiano Ronaldo if you've just joined us. He has joined the World Cup. Lovely little layoff by Bruno Fernandes, slipping it through towards Ronaldo again, and just for a moment the eyes would have lit up, and we've all seen those eyes when he winks every now and then. Saw that ball coming across him, but there was just too much on it. I think a first half hat-trick would have done the job had that opportunity arisen. Right hand side, Portugal coming forward again. Now down the right on the charge, it's brilliant. On the overlap, Cancelo into Ronaldo, just clips it up in the air and it's cleared off the goal line. It went up an absolute mile and is cleared in the end by Kusanov, and it had to be. It was just going to drop in, I think.
What was the back line of Uzbekistan? I mean, they've tried to play the offside trap and they've left like 3 Portuguese forwards, and Ronaldo's unlucky. He tries to dink it over his right foot over Costa, and lucky enough Kusanov has got back and cleared it off the line. But I can't believe how they've defended that. You know, it wasn't on to play the offside.
It wasn't on. Almost the first half hat-trick for Cristiano Ronaldo, but Kusanov denies him on the stroke of half-time. We'll just confirm those changes for you in a moment, but really a feeling that they needed to do something different at the start of this second half. And Semedo coming on as well for Portugal, so they're making a change of their own. The former Wolves man who's replacing João Cancelo right back. That would be the natural switch, of course. Roberto Martinez is giving him a few more final pieces of instruction ahead of him entering the fray. And there's another change as well. Conceição is coming on too. So Semedo on for Cancelo, taking the opportunity here to mix things up a little bit. Semedo and Pedro Neto, the other player who's gone off. And as I say, Conceição is coming on to replace him. So a double change as well for Portugal as they get ready to start the second half, kicking from left to right. Roberto Martinez clearly wanting to give some of his players some time.
Yeah, I think he'll do that again in probably 15-20 minutes. 2 or 3 other players will come off. I think that'll be his options, knowing that he can utilise all the squad or many players to play a bit of football tonight.
So both teams with a couple of changes to get the second half up and running. As I mentioned, we've seen the departure of Nazruleyev to be replaced by Alijanov, as that runs all the way safely through to Diogo Costa away to our right, Nematov should I say, away to our right hand side. He's in his lime green kit that stands out considerably. He had a tough first half, did Nematov. 3 times he was picking the ball out the back of the net. On that far side, Uzbekistan have possession again. Goes into the feet this time of Shukurov, out to this left hand side on halfway, picked up by Fazuliev, helped on its way by the substitute who's been introduced, Moscovoy, who started the first game. Was left out at the start today, but Uzbekistan clearly decided that it was important that he plays alongside Shukurov in that middle of the park. One punted forward by Uzbekistan, taken down and controlled by Semedo at the edge of the centre circle to this right hand side. Conceição is in possession, all the way back to Ruben Diaz. Diaz to the left, that's the support there of Raega, and now they'll progress over halfway. Now they find João Felix down that left hand side. Holds the ball at his feet as he's closed down by Ganiev, who scored the goal that was ruled out by VAR for Uzbekistan. Far side Mendes in towards Cristiano Ronaldo. Bruno Fernandes just tries to get it out from under his feet at the edge of the penalty area. João Felix with a hit. Wow, that's an instantaneous shot. He's just spun on that and he's whipped it with his right foot and it just fizzes over the top of the bar.
Yeah, great effort by João Felix. Things it just goes over the top of the bar, as you said. They scored a lot of goals in Saudi Arabia, had a good season, so he'll be desperate to get on the score sheet today.
He will. He's found himself again in Saudi Arabian football for sure. One of the obviously younger players who's playing that trade there at 26 years of age. So many claim it's the place that you go towards the end of your career, but not in his case. It's just given him a new lease of life, really. One of those players who was thought so much of as just the 2 starts for him in the World Cup qualifying. Portugal, of course, as we know, lost to the Republic of Ireland.
Yeah. A little bit of an enigma, isn't he? João Felix has had some, conceded a hell of a player in there, but his goals ratio and, for someone so gifted, has never really shone week in, week out. He suffered with consistency. Just think of him each time at Chelsea, where I went and watched a good number of games. He's done some great things and the crowd appreciate him, but just not consistent enough.
Run you through the two teams at the start of this second half. As the ball goes out of play, it'll be a throw on that far side for Portugal, midway inside their own half. So Costa's in goal. It's now a back four of Mendes, Veiga, Diaz and Semedo. Vitinha, Fernandes and Neves in midfield, with Conceição and Felix supporting Ronaldo up top. As for Uzbekistan, it's Nematov in goal. It's Kusanov, Abdullayev, Ashurmatov are the back three. Karimov and Alijonov are the two wing backs. Mogovoy and Shukurov in central midfield, with Fazuliev and Ganiev supporting Shomorodov, who's up top for Uzbekistan. Vitinha just caught, was he a little bit late? No, just slid away from that challenge. Really quick feet from Vitinha. Only got 5 starts when he was at Wolves. I think they thought he was a bit of a Molineux misfit, to be fair, was Vitinha.
That's incredible, isn't it? When some player goes to a club and it's pretty low key, and then suddenly he goes off somewhere else and then ends up at PSG and it looks like a world beater in midfield. It's just amazing how this happens every now and again.
So many times players get written off, don't they? Oh, he's not good enough. If only they could see him now, third on the Ballon d'Or. Never really got the chance to grace Molineux. Here come Uzbekistan down the left edge of the penalty area. It's a hopeful ball forward that Alijonov was chasing after, but never going to get there, and it's easy for Portugal. 5 minutes into the second half here on TalkSport 2, they lead Uzbekistan by 3-0. We're underway over on TalkSport, of course. England taking on Ghana. A couple of hours of build-up live from rainy Boston ahead of the kick-off at 9 o'clock UK time. And of course the sports bar, special one from 11:30 until 2 a.m. for Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy, and Tom has almost been caught there by Cristiano Ronaldo.
What is he doing? Nematov in goal. He'd take a really lazy touch. Ronaldo nearly gets to him. If he gets the block there, he can get fortunate and have a simple tap in. What is he thinking?
137 goals scored in this year's World Cup from the 45 games so far. It's the most ever in the group stages, overtaking the 136 that were scored in the 48 games back in 2014. Of course, you can only compare like for like up to 48. Oh, it's given away inside the box. They're trying little back heels now inside their own penalty area. What on earth are Uzbekistan doing?
Well,
they've got away with it because they're away down the left-hand side. Alijonov gets the ball into the feet of Fazuliev, who fires the shot on his right foot, and it's saved by Diogo Costa. So 1 minute they're doing back heels in their own box, nearly giving the ball away, and then they're up the other end firing shots in at the Portuguese keeper.
Well, I've seen the final effort, as you mentioned there, Adam. Fazuliev, ends up cutting inside on his right leg and shoots it straight into the arms of Costa. But I think it was Kusanov. I'm not sure, but he looked like he rolled the ball under his foot and dragged it and straight into a Portuguese player, but he fortunately got away with it.
Vitinha gets it out wide to the left-hand side. Nuno Mendes is there, scorer of Portugal's second goal in this game. They lead by 3-0. 7 minutes into the second half on TalkSport 2. Another game in this group, of course, sees Colombia against DR Congo. That's on TalkSport at 2 a.m. UK time tomorrow morning. The foul there on João Felix on that far side. Spotted an Argentina fan in the crowd in his Messi shirt. Maybe he was coming to troll Cristiano tonight.
I mean, look, it's one of the great talking points of the World Cup is the amount of strikers and who are getting goals and who's going to get the boot, the golden boot.
Where's your money?
I'm probably Mbappe. I think that there's a bit more in there.
think the other thing you have to look at as well, isn't it? Who's going to go furthest in the competition? Probably.
Yeah.
Mendes' ball in is deep beyond Ruben Diaz and out of play for what will be a goal kick. Welcome listeners to Talk Sports, where it's Portugal 3, Uzbekistan 0. A fairly quiet start to a second half, quite the opposite of the opening 45 minutes when Cristiano Ronaldo announced his presence here on the stage of this World Cup, following on from the likes of Messi and Mbappe and Haaland and Kane maybe again, hopefully in a while. But Ronaldo arrives, 2 goals, 2 really good finishes as well. And Tony Cascarino, who's been one of the more vociferous and vocal people who's been critical of Cristiano Ronaldo in the last few days.
Wait till we get to the end of the tournament, Adam. we'll look back on what happened afterwards when we get there. And I wasn't talking about this particular game. I'm just talking about in general, because when you get to the end of the tournament, you can look back at what worked and what didn't.
What we did see for the listeners to Talk Sport was that he was much better today in the first half. We saw movement, great finishes, and actually could have had a hat-trick, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could have easily had a hat-trick. I think he's a little bit unlucky. You know that when he tried to dig it over the goalkeeper, I'm not sure that weren't a penalty. That could have been easily given.
He certainly got caught by Nematov. They've got some defending to do here, Portugal. They did have a goal scored, a goal did Uzbekistan, as the shot comes in low to the left-hand side of the post of Diogo Costa. Goal was scored by Ganier, but on VAR review it was cancelled out. It was a wonderful strike from the edge of the penalty area. The other score for Portugal, Nuno Mendes from the edge of the box with a free kick, and they have a corner here, Uzbekistan. But it's been all about Cristiano Ronaldo in the opening 45 minutes. He's still out there, he's still looking for that third goal, and he's already become of course the first man to score in 6 World Cups, and also he's passed Eusebio for goals in a World Cup for his country. We're 10 minutes into the second half. Portugal 3, Uzbekistan 0. Referee just sorting out a little bit of pushing and shoving inside the penalty area for this corner. Ruben Diaz is up forward at the edge of the box, ready to go. I think it was his shove on Shukurov that wasn't well received, and it will be a corner down this right hand side for Uzbekistan. Maybe there's a chance here for them from a set piece. They've already scored one very good goal, of course, that was ruled out. They're not gone for the first time delivery. They've played it short, and they look like they've almost got themselves into a pickle. That's a ball in, and Cristiano Ronaldo, who else is back there doing the defending, and now there's a chance for a counter-attack down this right-hand side. Here come Portugal over halfway. Conceição on this right-hand side will just stop the cavalry charge and take his time as he goes infield to Mendes, and it feels like a wasted opportunity there.
Yeah, absolutely. Conceição went down the right hand side. It looked like, for me, he had to keep driving at the Uzbekistan back line, and he decided to stop, turn around and play it backwards.
It looks like the number of short corners we've seen.
Yeah.
You know, why was Uzbekistan doing that? Surely just pump it in the box and give yourself a chance, maybe. But there's a shove there on Mendes, and then there's a second shove on Mendes. They're all having a go at shoving Mendes. He's a very good player. I don't think shoving him is the answer. Bruno Fernandes in the ear of the referee as usual. See, it's not just in the Premier League he does that.
Well, look, Portugal winning the battle, and I think it's going to turn into a combat sport, little wrestling game, and I'm having the Uzbekistanis. I think they'll be...
they're very good at that combat sport.
Yeah, they are. They're incredible. They all practice it.
11 minutes gone in the second half. From TalkSport 2, Portugal 3, Uzbekistan 0. Long conversation, a team meeting, 5 of them, all round the ball, deciding what to do. I think Mendes is saying, no, you've had your chance.
Yeah, well, Bruno Fernandes obviously takes a hell of a lot for Manchester United, free kicks, and has been good at them, whether it's assists or goals.
There's an awful lot of sevens in the Portuguese supporters. There's no two ways about that.
Well, he's lining up the ball. That's Ronaldo's hands. Can't see his face yet. Yeah, here it is. He's put the ball down as if he's going to shoot. I can't imagine he's not. He's got to take this one, surely. It's his distance.
Well, no surprise, he's the only man out there with long sleeves, as ever. So Ronaldo's on this. It's probably, central and about 35 yards out, maybe. Ronaldo's got a very straight run up. Fernandes is off to the left. Mendes is to the right.
No.
Ronaldo leaves it. And then they just clip it over the top. Ronaldo's continued the run. Oh, and it's a good save by the keeper. Ronaldo says there was contact after he fired it goalwards. It's a clever routine. Ronaldo passed the ball. He just ignored it, ran past it, Fernandes then clipped it over the top because Ronaldo continued his run into the penalty area. He did get contact on it for sure. The question is, A, was he offside? No, he wasn't. Is there contact from the keeper? I think there is. What do you make of it, Tony?
Well, first of all, it's a great free kick. It really fooled the Uzbekistan's. I'm just looking at the challenge on Ronaldo. Looks like the keeper's... Is it Ronaldo going in with his leg? And it's a tough one.
It is. He makes contact with the ball first, does Ronaldo, doesn't he?
Yeah, he makes contact with the ball. They do catch each other, the goalkeeper and Ronaldo. So obviously, Nemetov, I think the referees decided it's a corner.
Well, Ronaldo wants a penalty. I think the referee has said no. VAR have looked, and the decision is that there is no penalty. It almost like he kicked the goalkeeper more than anything.
Yeah, it was a bit. It wasn't really a foul either way for me, where both players went for the ball honestly. But what a terrific free kick it was!
Oh, that got him. What a goal!
Yeah,
one of the finest. 14 minutes gone in the second half. Portugal 3, Uzbekistan 0. Corner down the right-hand side. Bruno Fernandes goes in low to the near post, flicked on and in! Oh, it looks like the keeper's pushed it in.
Yeah, it's an own goal.
Final touch before that may have been João Felix's, but the keeper certainly had the final touch. It's another well-worked set piece. Well, Austin McPhee, of course, of Aston Villa, is the set piece coach, and he looks like he's been having a field day during this World Cup. Corner from Fernandes, low, drilled and passed into the front post. A little flick there, and in the end, the final hand definitely was Nemetov who's put it over the line. It's Portugal 4, Uzbekistan 0.
Well, it's a very strange goal. I mean, as it gets whipped in, and it's literally a low pass right across the face of the Uzbekistan goal. And as they go into challenge, there's Ronaldo and João Felix, and the goalkeeper loses sight of the ball, and then as he sees it in front of him, he tries to get his hand to it and ends up pushing it in his own net, and it finally comes off of... Where does that come off of there?
It's Kusanov, and then it's the goalkeeper's hand, so that'll go down as a keeper's own goal.
Yeah, it will do. It's an own goal.
And huge celebrations between Roberto Martinez and Austin McPhee. Well, within the space of a couple of minutes there, we saw what a set-piece coach can bring to this Portuguese side. Two excellent, different set pieces, and they finally get the goal from it.
Well, at least it wasn't the corner that was hanging up or a short corner. It was one that actually really confused Uzbekistan, and it ended up going in the back of their net.
During your time with Ireland, if you ever played a short corner with Jack Charlton, just literally go mad?
He'd have probably told you on the bus on the way back, he won't be playing for me again. Jack wanted it in the onion bag.
Oh yeah. 29 minutes to go. Portugal 4, Uzbekistan 0 on TalkSport 2. An own goal to add to Uzbekistan's misery. It's an attempted shot from the edge of the penalty area on the half volley by Ganiev, that's blocked. Here's Ganiev again down the right hand side for Uzbekistan. The ball in decent. Diaz clears it out. Only halfway though, and it was Shomurodov, and now a chance maybe for Cristiano Ronaldo on the right hand side. Mendes is sprinting through the middle, just goes down this near touch line towards Semedo, but the pass wasn't very good, and it's read and intercepted this time by Fazuliev. And they'll go all the way back to Nemetov at the edge of his 6-yard area.
Yeah, wasted opportunity there. I think Ronaldo should have probably played it inside. He opted to go down the line. Okay. Didn't really. There was a wasted opportunity there. I mean, I'm watching this game and thinking, when it went to 2-0, I was thinking, was it going to go 5 or 6? And we're not far off of that, because Portugal haven't had to do too much to get a 4-0 lead.
Well, they've given the own goal to Kusanov, but I thought the keeper would have had that.
He's
the one who palms it in.
Yeah, last touch was the keeper.
Do you think that ball that was just played forward to Ronaldo, do you think he probably got over halfway and thought, I can't do that anymore, can I? Because in the old days, he'd have just sprinted, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
And in a bit of way.
Well, when you're younger, you can do a lot of things different, can't you? You just, you'd have probably seen him when he was a teenager just run at the team.
Mendes in towards the feet of Bruno Fernandes. And Fernandes is claiming he was shoved in the face at the same time as fouling the number 7 for Uzbekistan, Shukurov, but I think the referee, I think maybe he did get a finger in the face actually, Fernandes, but he did foul Shukurov too, and it's gone the way of the Uzbekistan side, midway inside their own half. I think João Felix is shaking his head because he's been substituted by Roberto Martinez. Doesn't look happy about it. Obviously he's had to make his way off the far side of the ground. He's been replaced, and onto the field of play comes Francisco Trincao. Another change for Portugal. We'll start charging around, there's no two ways about that, down this right hand side, but João Felix not a happy man.
No, and he'd be disappointed he hasn't got on the score sheet tonight. So it was a golden opportunity, this match, for strikers to get goals. You know, especially as he scored a lot in Saudi Arabian football this year, João Felix. He want to get himself off the mark.
Down this right hand side, Conceição towards the edge of the penalty area. Here's the first touch for Trincao. Just into the feet of Vitinha. Turns and spins away towards halfway. João Felix that's departed. Just to see how exactly they choose to line up. Trincao likes to play more central as well. Maybe Bruno Fernandes might drift out to the left of those three that are tucked in behind Cristiano Ronaldo. 9th own goal at this World Cup. It's the joint most in any single group stage since 2018. Just an attempt to work it down that right hand side, but it comes back to Semedo. Now out wide on this near touch and is Francisco Conceição towards the edge of the penalty area. On his left foot, clips it over towards the back post, looking for Cristiano Ronaldo. It's a good header away that time by Abdullayev. They have it again to Portugal, circling the edge of this penalty area of Uzbekistan down the right hand side. Here is Conceição again towards the byline, just teasing with a couple of step overs. Semedo there. Instead he goes to Vitinha. Vitinha inside the box, down the line again towards Semedo. Vitinha had continued his run, but Conceição's ball may be a little bit too clever and sharp on this occasion, and it's Portugal who have it back on halfway with Ruben Diaz.
Yeah, they're suffering, aren't they? Uzbekistan, they really are. They've been literally run all over the pitch now. And I do wonder how many, the quality of their substitutions.
Here's Conceição down the right hand side towards the byline, picked up and just turned around by the substitute. Here is Neves now. Neves to Vitinha. There's room for them to build on the left hand side should they choose to. Renato Veiga comes in. Mendes is fouled, and fury on that far side from Karimov, who I think feels that it wasn't a foul. It is a free kick.
Yeah, Semedo there. Watching images of Pepe, again the challenge. I think it's a foul. You can't be doing that on Mendes there.
Well, not necessarily out of the competition yet, Uzbekistan, but if the DR Congo were to beat Colombia overnight, that game underway at 2 in the morning on TalkSport, then it would be the end for Uzbekistan. Mendes swings that one in towards Ronaldo, who was the closest to it, but it's headed away. Mendes then tries to poke it down that far touchline, intercepted by Ganiev. Infield it goes, and now a chance may be for Shamu Rodov down that right hand touchline. It's Ganiev again, and he's just punted it out of play from midway inside the Portugal half, and it will be a goal kick for Portugal away to our left hand side as we approach the midway point of this second half, and it's a bit of a training exercise now for Portugal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, exactly that. Keep ball, don't exert yourself too much, just make sure you do the right things, be honest about your play.
Vitinha, short, forward towards Cristiano Ronaldo. He tries the first time pass, but certainly on that occasion Trincao was not on the charge after it. Ronaldo putting the pressure here on Kusanov, who is very much the poster boy of Uzbekistan football. Seemed to grow in confidence throughout the season with Manchester City as well. There's a foul there, this time on Ganiev, and a yellow card shown to Veiga. There were a couple of players, Semedo, Bernardo Silva, and Araujo, who are on yellow cards for Portugal ahead of potentially receiving a second. She missed a game, of course. Busanov, the only one in this Uzbekistan side who was booked in the opener.
Yeah, that Viego and Ruben Diaz have had a real easy time of it, haven't they?
Well, I was going to say, look, we've seen a few moments where Uzbekistan have kind of created little things outside the area, but it's not been a difficult afternoon for the back line of Portugal, has it?
No, they've been very comfortable. You know, you'd have looked at this group before it started, you'd gone that Portugal will probably win it, Colombia will definitely qualify also. That's all how it's sort of panning out, and the DR Congo and Uzbekistan will fight out a third and fourth, and what we've seen from DR Congo has been far better than Uzbekistan.
Certainly has, and you feel as well, if Roberto Martinez is going to persist with picking Cristiano Ronaldo, he's got to find the way to get the best out of him. And maybe tonight the shape and the personnel he went with has also brought the best out of him as well. And that's a conundrum for a manager every time, isn't it? Just trying to, if you have got key men, how do you bring the very best out of them?
Well, also, if you take the DR Congo match, you've got Wanzabi, haven't you? You know, Wanzabi is a good, terrific footballer, plays at Burnley, and they've got Mbemba. The two of them really led the line brilliantly at the heart of their defence. They were much tougher. Tonight's not been the case. I think Ronaldo's found space. He's utilised it really well tonight. You know, he's put in a really good shift for Portugal.
It also looks like as a team as well, they kind of rallied round. We saw the celebrations after his first goal, didn't we? Where he was literally mobbed. He disappeared. The substitutes bench, all the players, they all gathered round him. It's almost like they've not adopted a bit of a siege mentality, but there's a bit of, well, actually, we'll show that you can still do it.
Yeah, well, that happens. You've got colleagues for a reason, and you've got your teammates. When you're struggling, sometimes there's always someone struggling and not playing as well as somebody else. You want to bring them back in, don't you? Try and help them, pick them up when they fall down, and I'm sure this Portuguese team are doing exactly the same. To Ronaldo, he's been their mainstay, hasn't he? He's been their player over the years that's carried this team. Got an enormous amount of goals, got them to tournaments. Okay, maybe not as good at World Cups as what we know Portugal are capable of. They've won the Euros. So a lot of good things has happened for Portugal when Ronaldo's been, playing his main part. And tonight, it's a good night for him. It really is. Because we've seen all these other global world stars of football turn up at this World Cup, and the only one that was missing was Ronaldo. And tonight, he's joined that club.
Harry Kane will try and add to his 2 goals already scored in this World Cup when England take on Ghana. 9 o'clock that game kicks off UK time, and that's once we're done here, of course. Build-up's underway over on TalkSport right now. The team news has just dropped. There are 2 changes for England. Mark Gahey comes in to replace John Stones, and Jed Spence is in for Nico O'Reilly at left back. So I assume Spence will play left back with James continuing at right back. Gahey in the middle, of course, alongside Ezri Konsa. The rest of the team is unchanged. Gordon gets the nod over Rashford. Madueke still in on the right. Rice is fit enough to start with Anderson, and then it's Bellingham and Harry Kane. That's how England line up.
Yeah, a couple of, I wouldn't say surprises. I think just the ones that didn't quite play as well have been left out after the first game.
I think we're all quite surprised Gahey was left out in the first game, to be honest. Jed Spence did enough with his energy when he came on, didn't he?
Well, that's why Thomas Tuchel even spoke about that afterwards. He loved the fact that he can drive at players, and he is quick. Jed Spence is very quick.
Well, that's how England line up. As I say, the build-up live with Adrian Durham, Stuart Pearce, Jim Proudfoot, your match commentator, and Faker others who'll be pitch side throughout the game in Boston. Hope it stopped raining for Faye's sake. That's all I would say. In fact, the whole stadium's open, so I hope it stopped raining for all of our sakes, to be fair. Not like that in Houston, where the roof is closed. It's very warm outside, but it is dry. Time-wise at this moment, of course, it's the middle of the afternoon, well, just after lunchtime, as that comes across towards Ronaldo from Mendes. And Ronaldo's stab shot is wide on his left foot around the penalty spot. He's shaking his head, and Mendes is putting his hand up. I think it was more the position of the delivery then, where he cut it back to made it difficult.
Yeah, Uzbekistan lost possession, and ends up being played out to Mendes on the left, and he just tries to square it to Ronaldo, and he's got a player on top of him. A little bit frustrated with that effort. I'm sure he's so desperate to get his hat-trick.
As a striker, that ball was just kind of, was it almost pulled back too far behind him, so he had to try to hook round? Did he want it in front so he could kind of poke a toe out at it maybe? Oh, here he is again inside the penalty area. Cristiano Ronaldo beaten away by Nematov to deny Ronaldo his hat-trick.
What are they doing, Uzbekistan?
Here's Bruno Fernandes, 25 yards out from goal. Fancies his chances here, looks for a little 1-2 that he tried to play with Trincao but didn't work out. There's defending here to be done. Ruben Diaz goes down, wins the free kick midway inside their own half. What are Uzbekistan doing?
Honestly, they gifted Ronaldo a chance. The goalkeeper again, he goes to ping it long, Ronaldo, and he hits him straight in front of him. And then it bounced to Ronaldo. It was like a ping ball, in the 18-yard box, and Ronaldo catches it, but the keeper made a save. But what they're doing at the back is quite frightening.
Here come Portugal again. They want more goals. I think there's no two ways about that.
Oh, it's there. Portugal can go on and get 5 or 6 in this game. They really can.
Biggest win ever was against Korea in 2010. They won 7-0 that day. Not sure they'll get quite that far in the last 16 minutes. Interestingly enough, their XG is only 1.2 and they're sat on 4 goals, which probably just underlines that, yes, it's been better from Portugal, but it's not been free-flowing, has it?
No, and they haven't had to play, at their very best to get this far in front, because Uzbekistan's made a number of mistakes, certainly in the back, and the keeper has had a bit of a stinker so far.
He has. That was a decent stop that time to deny Cristiano Ronaldo, but apart from that, it's not been his day. Hid behind his own wall for Mendes' free kick. And I think he should get the own goal as well after just palming a ball that rebounded off Kusanov into the back of the net. There's a little tug on the shirt there and a pull on the shoulder, I thought, of João Neves, but I think the referee agreed.
It's a repeat of what the keeper Nematov had done, trying to just ping it, and it hits it straight into Ronaldo, and Ronaldo half volleys it, and the keeper makes a decent save, but it's all because of the keeper why he's got that chance.
Yeah, pinged it very quickly with his left foot, didn't it? João Neves has gone off, by the way. He's been replaced by Bernardo Silva. Silva, of course, he plays a more central role or did play a more central role for Manchester City, should I say, but he's very much preferred in a slightly wider area, generally for Portugal. But Bernardo Silva is on, cap number 111 for him. Worth remembering those 2 goals today from Cristiano Ronaldo. It's 145 international goals, 975 in his career now.
Oh, 25 to go.
I'm sure that's the point he retires, Tony, when he gets to 1,000. He goes, all right, I'm done now.
Well, I'm sure he'll get there. He's going to play another season, isn't he? I'm sure he's going to get there.
Made his debut for Portugal back in 2003, 23 years ago. What a career. It is 230th cap today. Down this left-hand side, here's Fernandes trying to get onto the end of it, but it's well read this time by Kusanov, who plucks it out, and Uzbekistan have possession on halfway. You're listening to TalkSport 2. It is, of course, World Cup 2026 given away to Bernardo Silva. Conceição comes forward, not at pace though, and he's got 3 white shirts around him, but he's escaped the close attentions that were coming from Ganiev on this near side. Out wide to this right-hand side for Nelson Semedo. When he left Wolves, he'd been made captain the last season he was there, but decided to venture off to Fenerbahce for a change. He's made 40 appearances in the Turkish League last season. There's a little 3v3 on here for Uzbekistan down that right-hand side. Can they utilise it? There's some more support arriving on that far touchline. Karimov gets it into the box, and the shot is just over the top of the bar from Shimonadov, the record scorer. He was looking for goal 45 in his 95th cap. And that wasn't too far away.
Yeah, Shimonadov, he really he caught hold of it well on the half volley. Confident lad.
Certainly was. isn't a bad effort either. 13 minutes to go. Portugal 4, Uzbekistan 0. Key things to remember here, if they finish first in this group, Portugal, which they'd obviously be aiming for, they then will face a third place side on the 4th of July in Kansas. If they finish second, they're off to Toronto to play the team that finished second in Group L. The third place team will play the winners of Group L. So there's a big advantage. It's facing a third place side if they can win the group. But the fact that Colombia won, if Colombia can beat DR Congo, it'll all be set up for a fantastic grandstand finish between Colombia and Portugal on the final round of matches.
Yeah. It'll be an interesting one, that one. Colombia versus Portugal.
Diaz out wide to the left-hand side. Ronaldo's made a run inside the box, but Bruno Fernandes just checked his run. And well, we've been singing the praises of Nuno Mendes throughout the game. He's just let that ball roll under his foot. It even happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, there's one of the Portuguese supporters who's got CR7 and a crown shaved into the back of his head. Slightly unfortunate.
I might have to have that done as well.
It's a bit extreme, isn't it? I wish I had enough hair to have it done. I'd think about it, Tony, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think I'd have a messy tenor, to be fair. Long ball launched forward, right-footed towards the edge of the penalty area. Just funny watching the Argentina game. I mean, how many shirts with Messi on the back? I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Adam, I was in Qatar, and I promise you, going to an Argentina game was literally going to see Lionel Messi's big family, because there were literally shirts of Messi everywhere. I've never seen a name so often with shirts on. You know, on the back of a shirt, Messi, everywhere. Every Argentinian fan.
Conceição trying to get towards the edge of the penalty area down this right-hand side. Here's a break up to halfway. Pass towards the advancing Sagiv on that far side, but again intercepted. Now on a charge down this right-hand side is Bernardo Silva. Here's Conceição towards the edge of the penalty area, still going, tries to lay it off to Bernardo Silva, gets back to Semedo infield to Francisco Trincao. Here's Vitinha, who just goes about his business in the middle of the park, keeping the ball, winning the ball, moving it on. Fernandes to the right-hand side. Here's Bernardo Silva again. Fernandes wants it back, right edge of the box, tries to play a ball through into the 6-yard area. Now Uzbekistan will try and counter. At the moment, every time they do counter, Ruben Diaz has got the defence pretty much locked up at the back as Cristiano Ronaldo tries to put some pressure on Kusanov. And now they'll break down the right-hand side. Here comes Uzbekistan. Portugal just fall back into some decent numbers on that far touchline. Abdullayev puts it out wide. It's delivered in by Kalimov. Over the head of everyone. It's headed away by Diaz. And Conceição on this near side will pick it up. Got his debut, and his dad, of course, was the head coach of Porto, did Conceição. 42 appearances for Juve last season. Scored 4 goals as well. I may remember he came on in the Euros. It's about 100 odd seconds that he scored a goal in the Euros. Here's Mendes trying to get a ball in from that left-hand side. That's going to run out of play, and it will be another corner for Portugal on the left-hand side with 8.5 minutes to play.
Well, you know, give them fair play, Uzbekistan. They haven't got the quality, but they've really worked their socks off trying to stop Portugal. There's just a massive difference in quality between the two teams, and that's, you know, you're watching the sub come on now. Rafa Leao coming on, you know. All top-level footballers on for Vitinha, who comes off to a real big round of applause.
That's all we're saying. There is so much quality, isn't there? Vitinha's off. Rafael Leao is on. Just the one change for Portugal this time round. Interestingly, they've not taken the opportunity to take Cristiano off and, you know, maybe give some minutes to Gonzalo Ramos.
Well, I'm sure Ronaldo is always, like we know, which is a good thing that he gets obsessive about goals. You know, that's what's got him so many, but he wants that hat-trick.
Well, he's got, 7.5 minutes to do it. Already been 2 hat-tricks in this World Cup. Here's the counter from Uzbekistan. Semedo does well, and Semedo will bring the ball out. Has support down the right-hand side from Conceição, hugging this near touchline, the right. Back to Ruben Diaz. Portugal will face Colombia in Miami on the 27th of June. They've never met before. In fact, they've never met anyone in this group. Oh, that's brilliant from Leao on that far side. Ronaldo's in the middle, but he just overruns it in the end. Here's Bernardo Silva, 35 yards out. Semedo, 25 yards from goal. Conceição at the edge of the box. Semedo's gone outside of him on the right-hand side. He goes infield to Bruno Fernandes, who hits the shot. Saved by Nematov, palmed away, and then cleared from inside the penalty area. And now it'll be picked up by Mendes. Mendes on the charge. Outside him is Rafael Leao on that left-hand side, towards the byline. Ronaldo wants it cut back towards him. It was cut back, but it was a poor cut back in the end. And it's out for a throw on the far side, and it'll be Uzbekistan who have it midway inside their own.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes had a bit of a frustrating night. He's had a couple of efforts from distance. The last one with the keeper just made. Fine save to keep it out.
6 minutes remaining. Ronaldo alone has had more touches inside the Uzbekistan penalty area than Uzbekistan have managed in the Portugal box for sure. Here he is on that far side. Kusanov with a challenge. Wants the free kick, not given, but the offside flag was up anyway. So it will be a free kick for Uzbekistan instead at the edge of their own penalty area.
He's going, I mean, we're seeing a big picture of Ronaldo and his face. He'll be delighted with tonight. Just getting off that mark, really set his tournament now on the road.
Well, we can't say that the big names haven't delivered, and that's been the argument really with Ronaldo in the last couple of tournaments. Of course, Qatar 2022, that one goal against Ghana from a penalty, and then nothing doing in the Euros last time out. But the pressure was on. The way Messi has started, Argentina with 5 goals, Messi with 5 goals,
Haaland 4,
and Mbappe 4, Kane with 2 already, and maybe some more to come tonight. It's the kind of company you want to keep, and actually it's what you want from the World Cup, isn't it? You want the superstars to deliver.
I can't think of a World Cup in all the years I've watched this, from a young lad to the very first one of 1970, and obviously I've seen images of 66. I can't think of a World Cup that's got so many strikers who are getting their numbers.
Also seen, of course, the likes of Lamine Yamal for Spain.
Yeah.
Getting off the mark as well, despite his injury issues in Spain's victory. Oyarzabal as well, who's been, deadly in recent times. 15 goals in 15 games for Spain. So many good forwards. You wouldn't want to be a defender nowadays, would you? There were too many good forwards.
The common theme is that they're all playing for big clubs generally, or big international sides. That's the standard. Because we can all look at these games and we can go, look, Portugal won 4-0 and they've won it comfortably. At the moment, it could be 5. Wherever it ends up, they've won this game comfortably. And what you're going to see when the knockout stages start to happen, there'll be a lot of decent, tough, hard. You're going to have to put in a hell of a shift to win games.
Well, the good news is, Tony, we can leave happy because Nematov has been given the own goal. We were right.
Yes, yeah.
And Kusanov will have his record unblemished. Here's Semedo, early ball in towards Cristiano behind him. Leao with a shot, Leao with a goal, and it's 5 for Portugal. Not been on the field too long, right-footed into the top corner. It's an emphatic finish for his 6th international goal.
Well,
and that's it for Portugal now. 5 goals, 3 minutes to go. Portugal 5, Uzbekistan.
Well, Adam, when we do, we'll see a replay in a moment of this goal. But have a look at the line of this Uzbekistan team. It's a line that is just so disjointed, and it allows just one through ball to get past. As the pass happens, after that, they've got Ronaldo and they've got Leao waiting for that ball that comes across the face of the goal. And what a wonderful finish, by the way. Top corner with his right foot. Great effort by Leao.
It's one of those that ball is just asking to be hit into the top corner, isn't it? He arrives on it right-footed, brilliantly into the top corner.
Yeah.
And it's 5 for Portugal. A punch in the air for Roberto Martinez. He's going out in style potentially here.
Well, I did say early in the first half, this game's, Uzbekistan have been in, literally at 6s and 7s, and I meant there could be really 6 or 7 goals, because this has been so comfortable.
There's a slight delay here for a moment. I think they are just checking the offsides and the initial ball down the right-hand side, but I think we could tell he was on.
He was on, yeah, he was definitely on.
90 seconds plus added time to play then here on TalkSport 2. Portugal 5, Uzbekistan 0. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon between 1 and 4 UK time, White and Jordan, live from that 50th floor of the World Trade Center in New York. Big games tomorrow as we get into match day 3. Who's going to be victorious and top the group, Switzerland or Canada? That game live on TalkSport. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff UK time tomorrow evening. Bosnia against Qatar, both could still qualify. That game's live on TalkSport 2, and that's followed up of course by Scotland against Brazil on TalkSport and Morocco against Haiti on TalkSport 2. Big night for Scotland. This Icon Boogie will be ringing around Miami, there's no two ways about that. Oh, here's Semedo at the byline for Portugal, pulls that one back over the top of Cristiano Ronaldo, who did leap for a change, but it was more in hope, I think, than actual ambition to reach that.
Yeah, to be fair, the cross was just too high. Ronaldo was never getting on the end of that.
Conceição looks to come through the middle, but again he just runs into 3 white shirts to stop his path. Here's Bernardo Silva, lay off again towards the edge of the penalty area. Ball from Trincao, he was trying to play the 1-2 with Leao but wasn't able to, and they'll bring it clear, and we'll see how many added minutes we're going to have. I'm going to assume it's going to be at least 6, no, it's 5 for a change. Portugal 5, Uzbekistan 0. Slip towards the edge of the penalty area, trying to work a shooting opportunity. Here is Ali Jonov, and then gives it to the right hand side to Shomodarov. Once more it's picked up in the middle of the park by Shukurov, who's dispossessed by Ronaldo initially but wins the ball back.
See, even there, Adam, watching Ronaldo go and chase someone, where normally he'd be standing behind a defender, he's literally run to close down a player, an Uzbekistan player, in midfield and win the ball. He's got some real hunger in his belly tonight. Maybe that's been caused by so much criticism and he might think it's really unfair, but Ronaldo sets all his own standards. He's been a brilliant player in his career.
I don't think it is. I mean, he stank in that first game.
Oh, he did, yes.
Absolutely stank. And maybe he looked
lacked
back at
everything.
Maybe he looked back at it and went, that's not good enough for me.
No.
That's not my standards.
Yeah.
And I'm sure his teammates said something too. I mean, we mentioned it in the build-up today when we were watching the warm-up. Bruno Fernandes was really clear in saying what he wanted from him, what movement he wanted, what he expected of him.
Well, I'm honestly here, I would say that he's very fortunate to have kept his place in the team, because Martinez has been incredibly loyal to him. There's many a manager after that performance would have left him out. Well, that's for the brutal truth.
Well, it happened in Qatar, didn't it?
Yeah.
He got dropped and he didn't start in that quarter-final because his form wasn't good enough.
No.
As simple as that. 2 more changes right at the end of this game for Uzbekistan, despite the fact that we're 2 minutes into the 5 that have been added. Semedo, lovely touch of skill out wide on this right-hand side. Just an embarrassment of riches in this Portuguese squad. Such talented individuals. Can they pull together as a team and ultimately lift the biggest prize in football? Of course, European champions previously, but never quite managed to go all the way in the World Cup. It's their 7th World Cup in a row since 2002 as well. Quarter-final defeat to Morocco, of course, in 2022. As that's a shot that just goes wide. It's An effort that was driven in by Francisco Trincao.
Well, what a great chance this was. Trincao got a golden opportunity, a little short free kick. And again, being played across the face of the goal. Trincao, he was so close to scoring there.
Offside flag up against Uzbekistan. 2 minutes of added time to play. 2 minutes for Ronaldo to get that hat-trick he desperately craves. Messi and Jonathan David, of course, of Canada, the two so far who've managed to score hat-tricks in this World Cup. Edge of the centre circle, Bernardo Silva for Portugal. The crowd just starting to increase those noise levels before the celebrations come at that full-time whistle for Portugal. There is a sea of red shirts around the stadium, little pockets of white for Uzbekistan. From that far side, Jahanov is getting involved, and also a little intervention that time from Abdullayev. I think Rafael Leao is saying my shirt was pulled as well. Cannavaro doesn't look a happy man. His side well beaten. They didn't have the best of warm-ups to the tournament. Lost their last 3 internationals prior to today, conceding 7 goals. There's another 5 to add to the tally, as that's clipped by Fernandez. Oh, brilliant ball. Conceição is onside, gets to the byline, pulls it back as Semedo arrives, and it's well defended inside the 6-yard box. Ronaldo's chasing after it, but commits the foul in the end. And his challenge on Alijonov will be penalised. It'll be a free kick to Uzbekistan.
Yeah, another chance goes by for Portugal. It's been literally one after another in the second half.
Certainly has. It's the 4th time they've scored 5 goals in a World Cup game, and the 2nd time in the last 4 matches. This is across. Ronaldo! Oh, what a chance! What a chance! I think the offside. Yeah, I think the offside flag was up anyway. The ball was played across right edge of the 6-yard area. We've seen it so many times. He slid in to try and divert it goalwards, but he put it wide.
Yeah.
But I think the offside flag was up anyway.
Yeah, the offside flag was definitely up.
It was, and that's it. It's a victory for Portugal by 5 goals to 0.